Hi everyone, today we are looking at a question like this. Okay, so this was a question that one of my students struggled with, and we are going to look at that today. Now, as you can see over here, it says that Nadia and Li Qing had a total of 360 buttons. Okay, so what I want to do is I first obviously want to write down that n plus l equals to 360. Well, once I'm done with that, I can move on to sentence number 2. Okay, I can move on to sentence number 2. And what we want to do is we want to write down whatever we know, right? We know that Nadia gave 1/5 of her buttons to Li Qing, so we're just going to show it. We don't know how much is 1/5, but what we can do is show it over here. All right, so we are just going to minus 1/5 and then we plus 1/5, right? So Nadia minus 1/5 and then Li Qing plus 1/5 because Li Qing received from Nadia. When I see this, right, I realize that this is what we call internal transfer. Why is that so? Because Nadia is giving Li Qing and Li Qing is giving Nadia in the third sentence. So this means that the total will not change. Okay, the total will not change. Okay, so that is sentence number 2. Now, when I go to sentence number 3, okay, when I look at sentence number 3, it says that Li Qing, so this is sentence number 3, Li Qing then gave 1/4 of her buttons to Nadia. So over here, I don't know how much does Nadia have, and I don't know how much does Li Qing have, but I know Li Qing gave 1/4 of whatever she has. So I'm just going to minus 1/4. And over here, I'm just going to plus 1/4. Okay. One thing I want to note is this, is that the total still didn't change because I'm giving each other. You get what I'm trying to say? All right. This is what we call internal transfer. Now, sentence number 4, very important. Sentence number 4 says, in the end, each of them had the same number of buttons. So N over here, L over here. And I know that the total is still 360. Well, the key word here is the word same. So this is not just an internal transfer concept, but this is also what we call an equating numerators. In fact, I'm just going to write EN, okay, for the short form EN, okay, equating numerators, okay. So what exactly is equating numerators? Equating numerators is basically saying that they have the same part, okay. Since they had the same, we are going to do 360 divided by 2, and that gives me 180. All right, so I know that the ending for both Nadia and Li Qing is the same. And when you look at this, you realize that this 180 is actually equals to 3/4. Isn't that true? Because you see, if you follow my cursor, you can see that this is minus 1/4, and this is 3/4. So therefore, whatever that is over here has to be 4/4. And we know the value. We know the value of 1/4. Because if 3/4 is 180, we can say that 1/4 is basically 180 divided by 3, and that gives me 60. So whatever that is over here is 60. And if this is 60, then this has to be 60 as well. And I can also find 4/4, which is equals to 60 times 4, and that gives me 240. So this over here has to be 240. Okay? Now, once I'm done with this, right, what you can see over here is this. 180, I can actually find out what is Nadia over here, right? I just simply have to do 180 minus 60. Why is that so? Because this 60 was given to her by Li Qing. So I want to find before giving. So we get to 120 over here. And we can confidently say that this 120 is basically 4/5. Why? Because over here you look up, you realize that this is minus 1/5. That means to say Nadia started with 5/5. So we can say now, I'm just going to use another color. All right, I'm just going to use orange. We can say that 4/5 is basically 120. We want to find 1/5, and we will get 120 divided by 4, and that gives me 30. Now, once you're done with this, you can find out the question. The question says, how many buttons did Nadia have at first? So the question mark is basically over here, right? So Nadia have at first will be 5/5, and that gives me 30 times 5, and my answer has to be 150 buttons at first.